Welcome students. As discussed in the previous lecture, I like to discuss few concepts from the self-learning topic mentioned under this module. So these are very essential when we learn about the vector spaces. So let's start with the first concept, that is a linear combination. This is fine. Linear combination. Fine. Now what is this linear combination? I'll just explain with the example, then we will see the definition. See, if I have two vectors, say v1 as 1 comma 0 and the second vector v2 as a 0 comma 1. These are the two vectors from the R2. Fine. Now, if I have a number, say 2 comma minus 3 from the R2, then my question is, can I express this vector, say w, in terms of v1 and v2? Yes, we can write them. So w is equal to some constant or some scalar into v1 plus some scalar into vector v2. See this. 2 comma minus 3 can be written as 2 into 1 comma 0 plus minus 3 into 0 comma 1. See, if I take the scalar multiplication, I'll get a 2 comma 0. If I take a scalar multiplication here, I get 0 comma minus 3. And if we add these two, that means if we add this 2 comma 0 plus 0 comma minus 3, the resultant would be 2 comma minus 3, which is same as the w. Is it? So what we have done here is, this is nothing but the linear combination of what? It is a linear combination of the vectors v1 and v2. Is this? So this linear combination leads to, or say it represents, the vector w. So this way, or in similar way, we can write each and every member of R2 as a linear combination of v1 and v2. So in simple words, if someone asks you the definition of the linear combination, one can give a vector, say w, is called a linear combination of, vectors v1, v2 and so on vn if w can be expressed as alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 plus alpha 3 v3 plus and so on plus alpha in vn, where alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 and so on alpha n are non-zero scalars, or not simultaneously zero scalars. Fine. Are you clear with this definition and the example which we discussed? Okay, we'll have one more example. Suppose I have the two vectors v1 as 1 comma 1 comma 1, the vector v2 as 1 comma minus 1 comma 0. Fine. Now I have the linear combination, say alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 given as alpha 1 into 1 1 1 plus alpha 2 into 1 comma minus 1 comma 0. So which gives me alpha 1 plus alpha 2 comma alpha 1 minus alpha 2 comma alpha 1. Now you select any value for alpha 1 and alpha 2, you will get the all possible linear combinations for v1 and v2 defined over here. So let's take alpha 1 as the 1 itself and the alpha 2 as 2. So what I'll get? So here I'm getting 1 plus 2 comma 1 minus 2 comma 1. So what will be this value? This is 3 comma minus 1 comma 1. Now you change the alpha 1 and alpha 2. Take alpha 1 as a -1 and alpha 2 as -4. So then in this case, what I'll get? The alpha 1 is -1 and alpha 2 is -4. So -1, -1 -4, comma -1 minus of -4, comma -1. So the vector would be, this is -5, minus become plus. So -1 plus 4 gives me 3, comma -1. So these two vectors are in linear combination of V1 and V2. So I hope this idea is clear to everyone. Is it? Fine. Now, sometimes you may get a question. Sometimes we can come across with the questions like, right now this topic is in the self-learning, so it is not expected a question from based on this topic. But still, we would like to solve one question. Express the following as a linear combination of. Express the point. Just a minute. Express -9, -7, -15 in linear combination of the set of vectors. The first vector is 2, 1. Sorry. 2, 1, 4. 1, -1, 3. And 3, 2, 5. So we need to express in this linear combination of these three vectors. Then how you will proceed? It's very simple. So let's begin with alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 plus alpha 3 v3 is equal to w. Fine. So which is nothing but alpha 1 into the first vector 2, 1, 4 plus alpha 2 into the second vector 1, -1, 3 plus alpha 3 into third vector, that is 3, 2, 5, is equal to -9, -7, -15. So if we just go and work out this, we get a system of linear equation for which we can write a direct matrix notation of the system, like as, see, the each vector 2, 1, 4, 1, -1, 3 and 3, 2, 5 are nothing but the columns of the coefficient matrix. So 2, 1, 4 is the first vector, 1, -1, 3 is the second vector, 3, 2, 5 is my third vector. That is the third column of the coefficient matrix. Into matrix of unknowns, say alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 is equal to -9, -7 and -15. Fine. Now our role is to calculate the value of alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3. That means we can solve this system of linear equations by performing the row transformation. So this is a non-homogeneous system. We can easily work out it. So let's begin with them. I'll just show in very quickly. First, I'll go for R2 interchange with the R1, so that I bring the 1 at this place and my further calculation becomes simple. So 1, -1, 2, 2, 1, 3, 4, 3, sorry, the 4, 3, 5 into alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3. As I interchange the R1 and R2, the same change will be on the left side, that is -7, -9, -15. Fine. So to get the zeros at these two places, what we do, the R2 minus 2 times R1 and R3 minus 4 times R1. So which provides me 1, -1, 2. Then 2 minus 2, 0. 1 minus of -2 becomes 3. And here here 3. And we are multiplying here by 2 minus 2. So we get 3 minus 4, which is -1. The next is 4 minus 4 is 0. Then if I multiply here by minus 4, we get a plus 4. 4 plus 3, the 7 is. Then here I am having the 5 and 5 minus 8, which gives me minus 3 into alpha 1, alpha 2 and the alpha 3 is equal to, there is a minus 7, here the minus 9, and we are multiplying here by minus 2, which gives me plus 14. Is it? So minus 9 plus 14 gives me say the 5. Is it? And further here it is minus 15. We are multiplying the minus 7 by 4, so which is 28, and the 28 minus 15, which gives me 30. Got it? Now we want to make a 0 here, that is at place of 7. So which can be done easily with R3 minus, we need to divide it by, we need to make it 1 first. So we divide it by 3 and multiply by 7. R. So now what will be the changes? The first row as it is 0, then here I have the 3, then the minus 1 is 0. Now what happens with this? See, the entry is 7. I am subtracting 7 by 3 into. So what is the corresponding entry here? The 3 itself. So 3 upon 3 get cancelled. 7 minus 7 gives me 0. The next is a minus 3. So minus 3 minus. The corresponding entry is minus 1. So minus 7 by 3 into minus 1. Is it? So minus minus become plus. 3 3s are 9. So this gives me minus 9 plus 7 upon 3. So which gives me minus 2 by 3. Clear? So we have alpha 1, then alpha 2, alpha 3 is equal to minus 7, 5 and then 13. Okay, this 13 has to be changed. Now what is the change? See, here the entry is a 13. We are going to subtract 7 by 3 from it, and the corresponding entry is 5 here. Is it? So 13 3s are minus 35 upon 3. So 39 minus 35, which gives me 4. So my answer is the 4 by 3. So hence what I am getting? Alpha 1 minus alpha 2 plus 2 into alpha 3 is minus 7. The second equation, 3 times alpha 2 minus alpha 3 is equal to 5, and last minus 2 by 3 into alpha 3 is equal to 4 by 3. So after cross multiplication, we get alpha 3 is equal to 4 by 3 into 3 by minus 2. So 3 3 get cancelled, 2 2 4. So we have the minus 2 as the answer as alpha 3. Substitute alpha 3 here, that is minus 2. So we get 3 into alpha 2 minus 2 is equal to 5. So minus minus become plus 2. Shifted to the right hand side, which becomes minus 2. 5 minus 2 is 3 and 3 3 get cancelled. So alpha 2 is 1. Substitute that alpha 2 is 1 and alpha 3 is minus 2. We get alpha 1 minus 1 plus 2 into minus 2 is equal to minus 7. So minus 1 and this is minus 4 gives me minus 5. Shifted to the right hand side becomes plus 5. So alpha 1 is minus 2. Is it? Are you clear with that? Okay. So hence, what is K1? The K1 is minus, what is alpha 1? It is minus 2. What is alpha 2? Is 1. And what is alpha 3? Is again minus 2. So if I substitute the alpha 1 as a minus 2, alpha 2 as 1 and alpha 3 as a minus 2, the addition of the left hand side is same as the minus 9, minus 7, minus 15. So this way one can express the given matrix, given vector in the linear combination of given set. Fine. Now one more concept that we would like to discuss is linear independence and the dependence. Fine. So what is linear dependence and linear independence? They are very simple concepts, but based on the linear combination. That's why the concept of the linear combination is very important. Okay. Yeah, before I proceed, I must define one small concept, that is space spanned by a vector. Space spanned by set of vectors. That just to for your understanding. Capital V with a vector space, a vector space. Capital S be a non-empty set of vectors, V1, V2, and so on up to Vn, and it is a subset of V. It is a subset of a V. Okay. Let W be subspace of V containing all linear combinations of vectors V1, V2, and so on up to Vn. Or say you can take some vectors of, so I just write V1, V2 up to Vr. The R is a less than or equal to N. So Vr of S. Then the W is called space spanned by S. W is called a space which is spanned by the set of vectors capital S. Is it clear? Fine. Now, in addition to this, we can have one more definition. Not one more definition. Okay. This leads to the notation that W is equal to the span of S. Or sometimes we can write span of V1, V2, and so on. Vn. Fine. Just remember this. Yeah, fine. The next is linear independence. So let's define what is meant by a linear independence. So a set of n vectors, a set of n vectors v1, v2, and so on up to vn is said to be linearly independent. Is said to be linearly independent if there exists just a minute. If there exists alpha 1, just a minute, linearly independence we are trying to define. So instead of that, is said to be linearly independent if a linear combination alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 plus and so on plus alpha in vn equals to the zero vector. It implies alpha 1, alpha 2, and so on alpha n all are zeros. Fine. It's very important. See, I have a set of vectors. I try to express a zero vector in the linear combination of v1, v2, and so on vn. So I need some scalars. Is it? So if all the scalars are zeros, then we can say the set is a linearly independent. Let's take an example first, which will elaborate you in detail. Let's take a set of vectors 1 comma 0 and 0 comma 1. So if I consider a relation or say linear combination alpha 1 0 comma 1 plus alpha 2 into 1 comma 0 equated with the 0 vectors, what happens with this? The alpha 1 and alpha 2 both should be zeros. We don't have any alternate value for alpha 1 and alpha 2 for which this linear combination leads to the 0 vector. Is it? Hence you can say this set is a linearly independent. Okay. Now one more set I would like to give you. Hold on. Check whether the set is a linearly independent. Check the set of vectors 3 1 1 2 0 minus 1 and 4 2 1 is linearly independent. How you will check this? It's very easy. Again we get a matrix notation. Okay, you consider one linear combination alpha 1 into 3 1 1 plus alpha 2 into 2 0 minus 1 plus alpha 3 into 4 2 1. Equate this with a 0 vector. Fine. Now we need to calculate alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3. If all of them are zeros, then we say the set is a linearly independent. Fine. So 3 1 1, 2 0 minus 1, 4 2 1 into alpha 1, the alpha 2 and the alpha 3 is equal to 0 0 0. Now my question is, what is the determinant of coefficient matrix? It's very simple. 3 into bracket 0 into 1 0 minus 2 into minus 1 is minus 2. So minus 2 into bracket 1 into 1 1 minus 2 plus 4 into bracket 1 into minus 1 minus 1 minus 0. So let's go on calculate this. This is plus 2. We get 6 here. 1 minus 2 is minus 1. Minus 1 and minus 2 becomes plus 2. 4 minus 1 is minus 4. So 6 plus 2 8. 8 minus 4 is plus 4, which is non-zero. So of course, all the vectors are linearly independent. See, the rank, determinant of the matrix is non-zero. Hence, the rank of the matrix is 3. As the rank of the matrix is 3, it means the rows are linearly independent as well as the columns are also linearly independent. That means I must get alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 as zeros. So let's check that. I interchange the first row and the second row. So R1 interchange with R2, which gives me 1, 0, 2, 3, 2, 4, 1 minus 1, 1. Then alpha 1, alpha 2 and the alpha 3. And on the right hand side we have the zeros. So I write only 0 there. Next is R2 minus 3 times R1 and R3 minus R1, which gives me 1, 0, 2. Here 3 minus 3 gives me 0. 2 minus 3 into 0, that is 0. So we have the 2. 4 minus 6, the 4 minus 6 will be minus 2. Next is 1 minus 1, 0. Here I am getting the minus 1 and here is the plus 1. So 1 minus 2, sorry. Yeah. So 1 minus 2 will be minus 1. Alpha 1, alpha 2, then alpha 3 and the zeros. Fine. Now from here we can easily work out this by dividing here by 2. So I just go for 1 by 2 into R2, we'll have 1, 0, 2, 0, 1, minus 1, 0, minus 1, minus 1. Into this alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 matrix of unknowns and the 0 vectors. So this is R3 plus R2. We get 1, 0, 2, 0, 1, minus 1, 0, minus 1 plus 1 is 0, minus 1 minus 1 becomes minus 2, and so on. Now see, the rank of your coefficient matrix is 3. So what I am getting? Alpha 1 plus 2 times alpha 3 is 0. From second equation we get alpha 2 minus alpha 3 as 0. And from third we get alpha 3 minus 2 into alpha 3 is equal to 0. So this gives me alpha 3 equals to 0. If I substitute alpha 3 as 0, we get alpha 2 equals to 0. And as your alpha 2 is 0, alpha 3 is 0, hence alpha 1 is also 0. So see, what I'm getting, alpha 1 equal to alpha 2 equal to alpha 3, all of them are zeros. Hence we can say the given set is a linearly independent. What is linearly dependent? Dependent and independent. So if we remove the in, it becomes a dependent. Is it independent? If we remove the string in, we get a dependent. So of course, if and in this example, I'm getting alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, all of them are zeros. If at least one of them is non-zero, then the set becomes a dependent. Is it? So that change we need to discuss. Linearly dependent. Fine. Let's move on to the definition directly. A set of n vectors, say v1, v2, and so on vn, is said to be linearly dependent if there exist alpha 1, alpha 2, and so on alpha n, if there exist scalars alpha 1, alpha 2, and so on alpha n, not all zeros, or we can say not all simultaneously zeros, such that alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 plus and so on plus alpha n vn is equal to a 0 vector. See, for a non-zero coefficient, if the linear combination becomes a 0, it means the sets are linearly dependent. Is it? So you can just go with some different examples. Okay, I'll just like to go with the example 1, 1, and another one is 2, fine. Okay. So what is the linear combination of this? So alpha 1 plus alpha 2 is equal to 0 vector. Now what will be the alpha 1 and alpha 2? So as I told you, we get each vector as a column. So this is what I am getting. Alpha 1, the alpha 2 is equal to 0, 0. Now we go for R2 minus R1. So 1, 2, 0, 0 into alpha 1, alpha 2 is equal to 0, 0. Fine. So which gives me alpha 1 plus 2 times alpha 2 as a 0. So we have two unknowns and in one equation. So this is a system of homogeneous equation, of course, but what about the solution? See, the rank of the coefficient matrix is 1, and how many unknowns? 2 unknowns. So rank is less than number of unknowns, so we have non-trivial solution. Is it? So how to derive that non-trivial solution? So you make a substitution, put say alpha 2 as t, where t is any real number. So we have alpha 1 is equal to minus 2t. If I substitute t here, we get alpha 1 as a minus 2t. So hence, what is the value? T comma minus 2t, such that t is a real number. So you can get such type of linear combinations. Is it? Such type of different values for t alpha 1 and alpha 2, for which the addition of 1 comma 1 and 2 comma 2 will be a 0 vector. Okay, you can take t as initially 1. So what I'm getting, the alpha 1 is minus 2 and alpha 2 is 1. Substitute is in the equation 1, substitute here. So we get minus 2 into 1 comma 1 plus 1 into 2 comma 2. What will be the addition? Minus 2 into 1, minus 2 into 1. So minus 2 comma minus 2 plus 2 comma 2. Get the addition of this. Minus 2 plus 2, 0. Minus 2 plus 2, 0. See, is my linear combination leads to a 0 vector? Yes. And what about their coefficients which are used in the linear combination? They are non-zeros. Hence, what we say, the given set is linearly dependent. Okay. So this part I want to mention in this lecture, the linear combination, linear dependence and linear independence, which is very important while learning about the concept of vector spaces. Is it? That's why I am mainly focusing on this concept. Okay. Now, one more point remain with the help of this is the basis. Okay. So, what is basis set? What is the basis? So, capital V be a vector space. Capital V be vector space. Capital S be the set of vectors V1, V2, and so on Vn. Capital S is equal to V1, V2, and so on Vn. Be the set of vectors in V. Be set of vectors in V. Then S is called basis of V. If the number one, the set S is linearly independent. The set S is a linearly independent. That means all the vectors of S should be linearly independent. And number two, V is equal to span of S. That is, S spans V. That means we must able to write each and every vector of V in the linear combination of elements of S. Then we say that S spans the vector space V. So if these two conditions are satisfied, one is that S is linearly independent and S spans the vector space V, then we say S is the basis of V. Is it? So for R2, the standard basis is 1 comma 0, 0 comma 1. Each and every member of R2 can be written in the linear combination of these two vectors, and they are linearly independent. Fine. For R3, the standard basis is 1 0 0, 0 1 0, and the third 0 0 1. Are you clear with that? Yes. And from the standard basis, of course, there is an existence of one more concept that is called dimension. It's a dimension. Dimension of the vector space. So the number of vectors in the basis of V is called the dimension of the vector space. This definition is very simple. The elements, the number of elements, or say number of vectors, number of vectors in basis of V is dimension of V, and it is denoted by dim of V. Okay, so now just look at these two examples, the R2 and the R3. How many elements in the basis? 1 comma 0 0 comma 1, two elements. So what is the dimension of R2? Dimension of R2 is 2 and the dimension of R3 is 3. And of course, the basis set not necessarily be unique. Are you clear with that? But all the bases for a finite dimensional vector space has same number of elements. So for R2, 1 comma 0 0 comma 1 is one of the basis set, which is called standard basis set. You may generate different types of bases for the given set. Is it okay? So just remember it. It's very interesting and you should remember. Fine. So we will meet in the next lecture with the next topic from the same module. These are the few concepts which I wanted to discuss with you because they are very important while going with the next concepts. Thank you everyone.